Good afternoon, and what is a cool, bright and sunny day. It is Sunday the 15th of January, and I've got a nice hot cup of tea. In fact, I also have a parcel to unbox. I don't know what this is, so let's find out. It got rather battered in the postal in the shipping, so let's thumb and fingers in there. Rip this open, and what I've got is a supplement for Mörk Borg, and that's the title, and I can't read it. I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at it, what the hell is that? But let's find out, have a closer look. What it says on the back: you are dead, but death doesn't want you. Act as an agent of the gods of fate to cleanse your undead soul in a lava-soaked continent full of phantoms and filth. Soul Burner, it's called... That says Soul Burner. Soul Burner is a tabletop role-playing game of violence, destiny and body horror, where your manifested memories are your only weapons. One or more players, 2 hours per session, playable with or without a game master. So let's find out what this is all about. So, interestingly bright cover. There's the blurb on the back, with the useful mention of the product name. And we open up. We have to burn, destroy, damage, or injure by heat or fire. This is the nature of the game, I am presuming. So that's the index. We have a couple of bits and pieces inside. Did they come out? Bits of flyers and that sits in the middle. It could be used as a bookmark, and then we come to the lava-strewn empty world that is Soul Burner. You are dead, consumed by fire, your skin melted, blood evaporated, brittle bones dissolved. Your once graceful body is now reduced to dust. Your spirit has been violently detached from your mortal core and cleansed of your experiences, short of a few profound memories and glimpses of reality itself. Your soul is rejected by the forces of afterlife, but by means mysterious and magical, your energy lives on. So discover who you are and who you want to be. You want to be along your violent way through the archipelago of Quarter, with your past, present, and future memories at the helm. So the role-playing games which you recover memories are sort of far and few between. The most recent one I perhaps think of is Nibiru, which is sort of set on this fantastic sort of space station, and illustrated with superb artwork. This one, of course, is going to have the art punk sensibility, or at least to a certain extent, of Mörk Borg. Doesn't here. This is quite rare in a Mörk Borg book to have sort of like just a couple of pages of plain, simple text. So that sort of makes it stand out. But it is going to vary, of course. It's not going to be art punk all the way. It's going to be art punk some of the time, or some of the way. So this is looking at how things are and how things are meant to be, dealing with the gods of fate and the reminders which the player characters will encounter, essentially to trigger their memories. Essentially, reminders are the only means by which you can still interact with the world around you. The place where an arm was once now is now an empty shack, a former home to your forgotten family you left behind. That kind of thing. So this is definitely falls into the grim, dark nature of Mörk Borg. And again, on the onset of each mission, the timeline must be tested. For each prophesied moment left untold by the party at the adventure's end, the GM marks off one failed prophecy. Beginning with a 20-sided dice, roll the current fortune die and subtract the number of failed prophecies from the result to have some kind of physical effect. So the more recover, so essentially what you've got here is a game where in which the more memories and prophecies, sort of like the player characters, can recover and fulfill, they the safer the world is around them. They are literally making the world concrete once more. So yeah, there isn't actually sort of like very little in the way of artwork or anything like that. You know, there are a lot of graphics, more design than artwork, and that's a very simple character sheet. You know, almost like any other, almost like you know, unlike any other retro clone, or really micro clone, if you will, because Mörk Borg kind of falls into that classification along with things like Knave, Into the Odd, and Cairn. You know, that. So, sort of like finally getting to the looking at how you create a character. And your person is composed of moments of time, of past, present, and future. So, in a sense, you might think, you know, that this is you are playing Christmas Carol, the role-playing game, you know, where you are constantly revisiting your past, your present, and your future, but not going the next day, going, boy, what day is this? And sending him off to buy the largest turkey in the window. So you have things creating a character like the last thing you saw before your timely death, the outlasting sight after death beyond our understanding, elements of the character during creation, composed of memories, the force of finality drawing you to your ever near. So essentially those are sort of like the kind of the motivations and things that are sort of driving the player character in this situation. And here we have a guide down essentially how the mechanics work, how to utilise reminders, bring them into the game, use them to affect the world around them as grey and as dusty as it is, or fiery and burning as it is. Interesting thing is the characters get able to convert or find purchase items into reminders, absorbing them into the ash body and destroying the original process. So, you know, they can literally rebuild parts of their body, make them part of themselves as well. Presumably, that is if they can find a merchant who will sell objects to persons composed of ash. I've got a couple of examples of play. I do like that. I said I keep coming back to this point that if you have a role-playing game, always have examples of play, because you know the role-playing game is always a case of it's always tell with the rules, with the examples it's show. But, over the edge and under my thumb, and this is dealing with combat. Really interesting, given that you're a body of ash, how brutal this is going to be in comparison to the standard Mörk Borg. And then dealing with things that are out there, we have Fate Wardens and Soothsayers, creatures unseen, behemoths, fungal herons, locust ungulates, primordial thermophiles, caimans. So a decent little bestiary there, you know, for your exploration with this game. Wargs, marsh hags, rememories, and so on. Magma cultists, feral miscreants. And then high rounds, low lives. Here we begin to explore the actual setting, how to travel across the world of Quarter, and how to create regions. So you can generate regions sort of just semi on the fly. We've got tables for that as well. And then heavier than heaven and lonelier than God is the task of the game master. Yes, nicely put, you know, but lonelier than God, heavier than heaven. And then comparing the Mörk Borg considerations, comparing the two, mission generator, and then no gods, no masters, we're also playing solo This is an interesting thing that's happening again with a number of different role-playing games. For example, I looked at We Deal in Lead, and that's got rules in there for playing the game solo. So you have role-playing games that are coming out that are recognising that not everyone has a playing group, but can still play this role-playing game. So that there are rules for that in here. The Warmth of the Sun, The Death of Your Mind, and this is kind of a sample area, somewhere to get started with a mini scenario and campaign. So this altogether is Soul Burner. See if I can find a publisher. Got to be one here somewhere. And here we've got example dungeon, and oracles for laying down your player characters. Very quick reference sheet and the player character sheet there. Not very well glued at the back there. I don't think there's been a cracking there. Yes, don't see. This is from the World Champ Games Company. It says anyway. So that is Soul Burner, a Mörk Borg post death as Ash role-playing game of recovering and using memories. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package containing a book or game, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.